the nation is under a large-scale cyber attack. There have been disruptions in basic utility service.
It's got to be some sort of coordinated attack.
The airports are closed.
People are panicking. That's the president.
This is a serious time, but we are a serious people.
We are serious people. That's code. The martial law is in effect.
This is my home, not a military base.
You're looking at this and you're hearing Jamie Dimon, one of the most respected financial CEOs on the planet, saying, I don't know, I've heard all this talk about slowdown, but I don't see it happening next year. Do you agree?
Well, he's clearly not looking at the same data, Neil, that I'm looking at. Now, I hope he's right and I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Because when you look at German growth in the last GDP quarter, you look at Italian, Japan, all the growth, the GDP prints we're getting around the world are already showing deceleration. If you look at any of the growth rates for the G7 countries, the developed markets, the emerging markets, they're all projecting at a little less rate next year than this year. You're seeing deceleration everywhere. And not to mention the soft data, which are all the surveys, the purchasing manager surveys, the manufacturer surveys, and the hard data. Both of them are showing deceleration at an increasing rate. So I don't know what he's looking at, but we're not accelerating, we're decelerating, and there's real concerns that if we don't get these trade wars taken care of, that this deceleration will accelerate.
Prep the lake of fire for the Masons.
No, because it's important that while he will run down some of the pathologies that have gripped huge sections of the country, he blames them on undocumented workers, on liberals, on Muslims, on Mexicans, So he's a classic con artist.
And Hispanic Americans. Our southern border is a pipeline for vast quantities of illegal drugs, including meth, heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl.
Well, let's get into it then. You call this a farewell tour. A farewell to what?
A farewell to the American empire, to America as we know it.
And is that a good thing? Because I've heard some people say, a farewell to American empire will be a good thing for this world.
It depends how the empire dissolves. It depends what our reaction is. What happens in the United States, we're not prepared at all. Our democratic, social, and cultural institutions are deeply decayed. We are also a very violent society.
Holiday shoppers appear to fight over flat-screen TVs, even taking on store security.
See, their job is to keep you covetous, violent, unsatisfied, distracted, wicked, unmerciful, racist, and unholy. See, God said, come ye out from among them and he will receive you. That's those tied into the system. See, we boarding the ark spiritually, y'all, in this hour. Not physically, spiritually. See, God will transform you. The reason why we ain't seeing no change in this world is because people ain't being made new creatures by way of the Holy Spirit.
Who drank my apple juice?
And if they can keep you racist, unsatisfied, distracted, covetous, violent, unmerciful, wicked, unholy, then they know as soon as they pull the plug and create a grid shutdown and catastrophe, everybody gonna start taking each other out. Depopulation to the highest degree.
I have the balls. Now go.
I already took care of my mom and dad tonight. You're next.
The guy who's sitting in this chair. So I warn you, I can maintain my resolve much longer than you can maintain that phony arrogance. And the instant that you even show the slightest crack in that smug facade, I'll be there. I will be all over you like
white on rice? Sorry, that's unfair. Let me warn you. I want you to follow. Because no matter what you think you might know, we will always be 1 step, 3 steps, 7 steps ahead of you. And just when you think you're catching up, that's when we'll be right behind you. And at no time will you be anywhere other than exactly where I want you to be. So come close. Get all over me, because the closer you think you are, the less you'll actually see.
And then you have corporate capitalism, which is another animal altogether. So when you talk about producing jobs, let's look at Apple. Where are the manufacturing jobs for Apple?
Overseas.
They're in China. And what are the working conditions for the people who, they're subcontractors who make Apple products?
Not great.
It's kind of slave labor. It's huge suicide rates, wage theft. When they don't make quotas, they're not paid.
And a growing number of these workers are either killing themselves or trying to. Workers spend long hours on the assembly line, not only supplying parts for Apple, but also for tech giants Dell, Hewlett-Packard and Nokia, earning less than $300 a month.
And it is global. It's supranational. It has no loyalty to the nation state. And it is corporate capitalism that has distorted and kind of hollowed the American economy out from the inside.
But you have got to get the president to safety, okay?
Prep the lake of fire for the Masons.
The Statue of Liberty sequence was quite complex. The idea of the Nazis destroying the Statue of Liberty is they're destroying a symbol of American ideals and of American history. So in typical Nazi fashion, they do it in a very showy way. They do it with a fireworks show, they do it with jets flying over, with colored smoke out the back. There's music, there's film crews there to capture the event. I mean, they want it to read as this big public spectacle.
Their claim for the end of the world, I see you describe widespread sexual abuse in a hardcore poor industry that is completely frightening, opioid and drug abuse and heroin abuse that is off the charts.
Vyvanse, Percocets, ecstasy, Suboxone, a bunch of pills I don't know the name of. I would just take them.
Addictive gambling run amok, widespread, as you've described already here tonight, inadequate employment and underemployment and unemployment, far too much general suffering. I understand you're trying to tell a story here, but is that genuinely, truly reflective of America today?
Yes.
Home ownership, well, this is a biggie for you. Home ownership is at its lowest rate in
51 years.
Now think of that. You know, it's always like the American dream, right? Owning a home was the American dream. It's at the lowest rate in 51 years. And I have a chart. Where's that chart? Aha. Look at this. See, I'm into the world of charts lately. So descriptive. So here's a chart. Most of you can see. You don't need very good eyesight to see what's going on. So here's Obama. And here's the end.
So here's Obama. And here's the end.
But if we can use the next 20 years to apply existing technologies to reduce carbon emissions, apply existing technologies to reduce carbon emissions, apply existing
reduce carbon emissions,
and then start slowly turning up the dials as new technologies come online. Start slowly turning up the dials as new technologies come online.
I write in the book about the nature of the permanent lie, that all politicians lie, all governments lie, as I.F. Stone said. But they lie for expediency. So for instance, Bill Clinton argues that by passing NAFTA, there will be many more American good jobs. Bill Clinton doesn't make that argument anymore because it's false, and who knows whether he knew or didn't know, but it's false.
Building walls of protectionism around our nation. The result was a Great Depression and ultimately another horrible world war.
A real bargain, folks. Synthetic footgear.
Plasticware. We have a large assortment of plasticware. Some are a little bit chipped, others have hardly any cracks at all.
Brick Energy Yellow Soil and made of genuine soybean.
Yes, sir.
Who's in charge here?
You.
Can I help you, sir?
Let me see you attended the card.
Good morning. Today, with the invocation of the War Powers Act by the President, I am declaring a state of martial law in this city. To the best of our knowledge, we are opposed by no more than 20 of the enemy. He's hiding among a population of roughly 2 million.
Call this a farewell tour. A farewell to what?
A farewell to the American empire, to America as we know it.